What's going on, guys? I am SimpleSimon and I'm currently out at Leapfrog Park in Point Cook. Point Cook is pretty far away from where I live. I just did a marketplace purchase off a gentleman off Facebook. It's really weird. Like, marketplace is crazy. Like, literally you meet in a park, he comes over, pulls this thing out of his bag, I give him cash. It felt like, you know, a drug deal. It was really weird. Anyway, I picked up a toy. I'm not going to show you now. I'll show you at the end of the video. But I figured while I'm out this way in Point Cook, it was quite the drive. I may as well get the most of it. There's a couple of shops out here. I did some research. So today I'm going to visit a store called Rare Records. Now, a friend of mine, Jerome, aka Garage Merchant, I'm pretty sure it was him that told me about this place. They're called Rare Records. They obviously have records and things. They're a record shop, but they do have other stuff. I believe they have a little section of like retro games. I looked them up last night and I think they even had a section of VHS tapes by the looks of things. So I believe they do have a couple of, you know, random vintage things, maybe some toys as well. So we're going to check out Rare Records. And also there's another shop out this way called Japan Toys, which I'm assuming is going to be like anime statues and things like that. So, you know, it's all very similar to the stuff, shops I normally go to. So that's where I'm going today. But while I'm out here, I'm also going to have a special guest.
Quick shout out to my Siminions. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you're interested in exclusive members only videos, extended episodes of The Noob, and exclusive emojis, hit the join button to find out more about channel membership. But remember, your membership is not required. The best way to support the channel is by liking and commenting on videos.
Alright guys, I'm here in the OmniBeau. What's going on, Bo?
Hey buddy, how are ya?
Are you ready?
I am super ready.
That's right. I worked this guy up. I was like, hey man, I'm going to be, you know, in the hood if you want to come hang.
And I always like to hang, even if it means getting up early on a weekend.
It's not that hard, mate. You get up every day for work.
Yeah, exactly. I get paid for that.
Oh, okay. Have you ever been to the shops we're going to today?
No, I haven't. Haven't even heard of them.
Okay, there you go. Because you're kind of new to the area, right?
Yeah.
So Rare Records we're going to go to.
Okay.
Which is a record store, but I've heard they've got a few retro things like video games and things like that too.
Is there something you're specifically looking for?
No.
Okay.
I'm just out this way, so I figured I'd do some shop tours.
Fair enough.
Hopefully we don't get kicked out for filming.
We won't.
And then I'm going to go to a place called Japan Toys.
Ooh, okay. That sounds cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
All right, so that's where we're going. Bo's coming.
Alright, so we arrived at Rare Records, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, I actually took these shots after we left to create the illusion that we had just arrived. I ain't going to lie to you guys. And when we stepped inside, I was like, wow. The first thing I noticed was this Lower Class Brats poster. They're a band I used to listen to when I was a lot younger. I actually noticed now in editing that poster is a tour poster from this year, and that gig hasn't happened yet. So maybe I'll need to check out that gig. But as you can see here, there's all kinds of retro goodies. And retro video games have started to creep their way onto my channel and become a bit of a thing on the channel now. And Rare Records had a bunch of them. So if you're a retro game collector, this is definitely a place that you want to check out. Anyone remember that game, A Boy and His Blob? I used to love that game as a kid. You'd walk around with this blob and you'd feed it jelly beans and it would turn into different things for you. Those were the good old days of gaming. You've got all these vintage handhelds. I don't actually remember that Zelda one. That's really, really cool, that Zelda one. I've always wanted one of these arcade style sticks for your console so I could play Street Fighter with. I started playing the new Street Fighter recently and I am not good. I'm a Street Fighter 2 guy. I'm from the golden age of fighting games.
Oh, what? Let's see. Wait, what are these?
Soundtracks. Books.
Oh, so it's vinyl.
Box of
Wow.
vinyl soundtrack.
Video game soundtracks in a box. That's sick, man.
Right.
This is like the
And it
omnibus of records.
And it ends with
Oh, wow.
Batman, the animated series. A complete score of 16 episodes. It's only $800.
Only $800.
Yeah.
Should get it.
So as you can see, Rare Records definitely live up to their name. They definitely have some rare records that you won't see anywhere else. Now let me ask you guys who are watching something. Music was a huge part of my life when I was younger. I sang in a punk band for 15 years and music was everything. And nowadays I barely listen to music, but I want to know, for all you guys who watch my content regularly and people who are new, let us know what kind of music are you guys into. And check out this cabinet. All these CDs are signed by the who's who of like 80s and 90s rock and roll and metal legends. They had so much cool signed stuff there. I got this shot from my buddy Escargo, who doesn't really watch my videos, I don't think anymore, but wherever you are, mate, if you see this, that shot was for you. Got some Slipknot shoes here. Slipknot's not really a band I really got into. There's bands that I think sound cool, but when I was coming up, anything that was kind of popular, I just didn't listen to. I was always wanting to find the most obscure bands that no one had ever heard of. I had a few exceptions, like I loved 80s hair metal stuff like Skid Row, I liked 80s thrash, I like bands like Motorhead and things. But yeah, when I was growing up, it was all about finding obscure punk bands that most people haven't heard of. And check it out, they didn't just sell rare records and retro games, they also had toys. They didn't have a massive selection of toys, but it wasn't because they didn't have the inventory, it was because they didn't have the space. I did have a chat with the owner for a little bit. I did forget his name, so I do apologize. But he did tell me he had a lot more stuff. He just didn't have the space for it. But this shop was a lot bigger than it looked.
Whoa, so much bigger. VHS.
Oh, yes. Here we go. What movie's playing? First, that's one of the it's Return of the Jedi. Oh, Star Wars guy, I win. Look at that TV. Is that a Cars? Is that
Yeah.
Holy crap! It's a Lightning McQueen TV.
No, it's a Rust. It's
What? It looks like
a Rust 676.
it looks like Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not. But it is a car.
Holy shit! David Bowie skateboards.
Alright, if you're a VHS collector, this place definitely had the goods. I had an awesome selection of old VHS tapes and DVDs and physical media. There's the Karate Kid himself, OmniBeau. But yeah, they had all the classic stuff. I wouldn't mind that Rambo First Blood Part 2 on VHS one day. They had Aliens here. This is a different version than my copy. I've got the special edition. That cover though is pretty sweet. And then I found a DVD copy of it as well, which I do already have. And believe it or not, this is one of my favorite movies ever, High Fidelity with John Cusack. But yeah, VHS collectors definitely come down to Rare Records.
More. What do you think of this shop, Bo? It's pretty impressive, right?
Once upon a time, when I used to collect DVDs, oh man, I would have spent a lot of money here.
Alright, I had to cut the audio because I'm a little bit scared with all the Star Wars movie going on in the background and the music playing in the shop. I'm really scared this video is going to get a copyright claim. You got laser discs here. Where there is physical media, there should be laser discs. And you got all kinds of collectibles here. If you're a music fan, you really got to check out this shop. I had that Suicidal Tendencies cap. I still got it somewhere, I think. But they had so much stuff to look at if you're a big music fan. Like, look at all these pins from just bands from... And all this stuff is from when they were... You know, they were big, but they weren't... You know, a lot of these bands have gone on to become, like, you know, icons. And if anyone knows what these things are that I'm looking at here, please let me know. They were tiny. I thought they might have been like mini CDs or maybe mini discs, but I don't remember mini discs having music on them. I just remember blanks. You got more figures here. I don't know if they might be old McFarlane ones maybe. But yeah, they had a lot of horror action figures and music action figures. And of course, they had books, all your favorite music biographies. They had magazines. And this section here was sick. They had all these these are from like newspapers back in the day. And they were all signed. But again, look at all these bands that are on there. These bands would have signed these when they were coming up. Like, they would have been big, but not like the icons that some of these bands have became. Like Oasis. My goodness. This place really had some impressive stuff. You got a Sanity magazine, that's pretty impressive. And you got these old Beat magazines. Those ones are so old, I don't even remember that the logo there. This last one there, I remember. Beat magazine was something we used to get every week, and I used to get it to find out what the local gigs were on for that weekend and things. I've got old clippings from my band when we were in Beat magazine, just when we were advertised to play at a pub or at a bar or at a venue. I always kept those. And if you want to buy some of these cool records they have here, but you don't have a record player, well, guess what? They've got you covered, and you might be thinking, oh, these look pretty old. I'm telling you now, guys, they don't make stuff like they used to. Get the old stuff. Don't worry, Rare Records. I like your old stuff better than your new stuff. Did anyone get that? So you're not just going to walk into any record store and find a Cobra Kai record. No, sir. And they had this awesome piece, which I might need to add to my collection, the Alien soundtrack. That is pretty cool. I feel like I might need that one day. Had some cool images on the back. Yeah, that thing's badass. And one of my favorite video games from back in the day, Contra. That, on the original Nintendo, was one of my favorite games. I always dreamed of there being a movie of it back then. And I don't know if you guys know, but I'm a huge Edward Scissorhands fan. I love that movie, and that is a cool cover there as well. And they also had these awesome just tour posters. I don't know where you get this stuff. Like, I should have asked, but yeah, some of the posters they had here, you're not finding them anywhere. So yeah, if you're a music fan and you collect this physical media stuff, I can't recommend this place enough. They had so much cool stuff, especially if you're into metal and alternative stuff. Check it out, Man of War, Born to Live Forevermore.
What are these things? What are these things?
BDDs.
What's it? Oh, it's like a double soundtrack. This was the first hip-hop album I ever listened to when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Yeah. I think we have all heard that.
Make sure you leave a comment if you grew up listening to Two Live Crew. Skate decks is something I've always wanted to kind of collect. I've got a Marshall skate deck, Marshall amps, and Collect Fest. Even though this video was filmed a month ago, Collect Fest will be this weekend when you're watching this, so make sure you check out Collect Fest. But if you don't get a chance to go to Collect Fest, that should be next week's vlog, Wednesday 9 PM. Tune in. So something I haven't mentioned yet is, as soon as I walked into Rare Records, it felt familiar. They actually used to have a store at High Point Shopping Centre, and I used to go there a lot after visiting Big City Comics, and I remember the day the shop was gone, and I was very, very sad. But yeah, shout out to the crew at Rare Records. I had a good chat with them before I left, but again, I apologise that I forgot your names, but it's a really, really cool shop.
Alright, so that was Rare Records. What'd you think, Bo?
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool, man. A lot of stock in there, a lot more coming. And it looked really, really awesome, man. It wasn't just records, it was toys and tapes and VHSs. And
It's like a retro kind of store.
yeah, it was really cool.
And the dude said that he's had the shop for he's been in business for 35 years or something. So he can sell a lot of that stuff he's been collecting for decades. I don't know if you saw, they had those little, can you remember Hit? I think it was Hit. It was in the newspaper back in the day. You get the little entertainment section. You had a whole bunch of them that were signed by bands like Hole and Offspring, and those guys were big back then, but not what they are today, sort of thing.
There's a lot of signed CDs,
Yeah.
heaps of signed CDs, clothes as well, which I'm guessing are pretty vintage bands. And
Yeah, a lot of official stuff, the posters that the ones that you would see that would be plastered up in the city on big
giant,
wall.
yeah, huge
Ones of the size that Bo was saying, where would you put that if I had that at home?
There was a wrestling one with 3 well-known names in the wrestling industry, but it was an Australian sign as well. And it's man, that's a moment in time right there that I'd love to have on a wall, but it was huge.
I was above your bed, mate. That's where it goes. All right, so next we're going to go to Japan Toys. I'm assuming it's going to be all anime related things. You like anime, don't you, Bo?
I do. I love anime.
Yep. His favorite is Legend of the Overfiend.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
So we arrived at Japan Toys, and the look on Bo's face told me something was wrong. Oh, they're closed. How convenient.
So what do you think of Japan Toys, Bo?
Thanks for wasting my time, man.
All right, so... Oh, sorry. He was really excited for Japan Toys and to add some new anime bunny statues to his collection. But it's okay, because Rare Records, I thought, had, you know, it was a good trip.
It was a good trip. It was a good trip.
But before I show you what I picked up today, I didn't pick up anything from Rare Records, but my marketplace purchase. We'll go get some food and do some food porn. I don't know if you know this about me, Bo, but I love me a good shopping centre. I was like a massive mall rat when I was like a kid.
Yeah, no, I can see that in you.
Oh, okay. I won an award once for hanging out at shopping centres.
You won an award.
Yeah.
What was the championship?
It was at the year 11 formal at school. It was the Shoppo Hanger Award.
The Shoppo Hanger Award.
Shoppo was the name of the shopping centre we used to hang out at.
Shoppo?
It's Shopping Town, but we used to call it Shoppo.
I feel like you're making this up.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I swear, year 11, Shoppo Hanger
You got a
Award.
trophy?
No, I'd like a certificate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's kind of like winning. This is just a disappointing day, isn't it?
Not a shopping centre.
Got some fish?
So we were expecting a food court inside the shopping centre, but there was no food court to be found. But luckily, when you walk outside, there was a whole street full of different food and eateries. So the question was, what was on the menu today? And I happened to stumble across a place called Burrito Bar, and you guys know me, I love me a good burrito. You can never mess up a burrito. You can't make a bad burrito. Bo decided on Centuro, and there he is there, looking up anime bunny girl statues that he could have bought at Japan Toys. And here I am with my burrito, and it's time to find out if this burrito is any good. Burrito Bar burrito. What do you predict? Wait, get away from there.
What's it like? Is it good?
It's a little cold.
It smells good.
It's a little cold.
Cold?
It's not freezing cold, but it's not hot.
Take it back.
So it turns out Bo was the smart one on this day, because how can you go wrong with what he ordered? Look at that. That's a hot chocolate and some waffles. Oh, mate. He definitely made the smarter pick out of us two. And yes, look, he's proud of himself that he ordered the better food. But before I show you what I picked up on Marketplace, here are some LaFoofus. Yo, do you love these videos so much that you want to rock some SimpleSimon swag? I've got 5 designs that can get printed onto t-shirts, stickers, bed sheets, shower curtains and more, so I can be with you always. Link to my Redbubble store is in the description below.
I got this SimpleSimon clock from the SimpleSimon Redbubble store. It tells the time really good.
How was your waffle, Bo?
Oh, it was pretty good. Pretty good. The hot chocolate was even better though.
Looked better than my cold burrito.
Thick, Spanish, rich.
My burrito was Mexican.
Mine was Spanish.
You know how you said you should take the burrito back? I'll tell you why you don't bring it back, right? So the burrito, it was subpar at best because it was cold. Sometimes you do get cold burritos if you put like sour cream in there because that's cold, or guac. It kind of coldens the burrito. Anyway, you know why you don't return the burrito? Yeah, exactly. Because they'll be like, oh, it's not hot enough. It's not hot enough, is it? Here, let's warm it up.
And then you really get the sour cream.
Yeah, exactly. And they hock to your burrito. Anyway, we didn't get to go to Japan Toys, which is fine. It worked out for the best because I'm in a hurry today to do a whole bunch of other things. But again, Rare Records was great, right?
Yeah, it was.
I saw that, by the way.
No, you didn't.
I definitely would have probably spent some money there, but I've got an event tomorrow, so I kind of had to be good. And I already dropped $60 on a Transformer today, which I'll show you now. So today on Marketplace, it was like a drug deal. I bought this Optimus Prime. This is the Optimus Prime from War for Cybertron. Oh, what's the line called? It's not Kingdom. It's...
Headmaster.
There's Kingdom, there's Siege, and there's one starting with...
Alliance.
The Earth. I think it's Earth. Anyway, I got this. It's really weird. It looks really small. Like, I bought this just to display with my Rodimus and my Galvatron and stuff, which I bought recently. But he looks kind of small. Like for Optimus should be big, right?
No, I reckon it's good. I mean, he's got a bit of girth to him.
Yeah, but you haven't seen my other figures. He just looks... I don't know. Maybe he'll stack up fine. But anyway, I've got my Transformers collection started, which is good.
That's pretty cool.
Do you like Transformers?
I do.
All right, well, that's it for this vlog. Thank you for joining me, Bo.
You're very welcome. Thanks for coming all the way down to my neck of the woods.
There you go. Now everyone knows where you live.
No, they don't. I said neck of the woods. You can't Google that.
All right, guys. Until next time, I'm Simple Simon. Tell your friends that Aussieverse
Is for life. Baby!